morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's time, bro. I told you last week we need big conversations, and that's exactly what we'll have today. Good morning to everyone that's pulling up already. We appreciate you. The early bird gets the worm, man. Here's the worm. We're waiting for Stark to bring his dog in. That's the worm. So if this is your first time tuning into the Ronin Radio, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the main Twitter page. We're going to start the show pretty damn soon, but some few more tunes to run up before we get into today's show. Of course, you can see it's a conversation with the man himself, G-Host, and there's a lot to talk about right now with Ronin as a network, with the experiences that are coming to the forefront on this network. Of course, Fableborn, notable mention. It's been doing its damn thing. Power, crazy. This is the biggest topic in this industry right now. And the second biggest topic in this industry, we're going to talk about that too. But the third biggest topic in this industry, we're going to talk about that three. And all three of them are here live on Ronin Network. So lock in today, lads. Make sure you repost this. Let's make this a big show for this space, for this network, for this community as well. Your questions you guys have submitted, we will make sure we address those as well. And of course, it's always a good time when we get to chill with G-Host. So lock in today, bro. It's going to be a good one. We'll be live in about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good, bro. It's almost time to lock in. I'm going to spin up the tune of the day today, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming from Don Toliver. It's called Kryptonite. Oof. Yo, just lock in. Let's get it. We post screen. Need that energy today, bro. 250 people already locked in. It's 5 minutes into the show. Let's go.
She calling, she feeling in the air tonight. She pulling on my chain at the crib tonight. Call me Superman, she my crib tonight. Look me in my eyes and she said, you the one I never leave me. Told her give me something for my weed. Light it up, let it rise like a genie. Think she need me. Don't be afraid, know just what you better than. She went and popped, so I left no evidence. In her letter, man, psycho, she ever been. I'm on the edge, you gotta let me in. I'm doing drugs, I'm back again. It's hard to tell the truth in a life of sin. I guess I really love it, guess I really did. Losing all my faith.
Chat check 1 2, check 1 2. Chat, yo, I see Jaster in the chat. You already know, bro. Deep in the Fable Boom, we've been talking as well. These experiences coming back feels like early time Axes, man. I'm telling you, something special is happening with Fableborn. We're gonna have that conversation today. Let me know, man. If you're in the community, you're in the chat right now, let yourself be known. This is the show of the week for me right now. I've been waiting for this one for a minute. We got questions coming in the server as well, in the Ronin Radio server. If you want to join that, check the link in the bio of our Twitter account. But if you are here, let it be known, bro. I know a couple of you are in the chat right there. Don't be silent today. Today is a day to speak up. Let yourself know, and I'm gonna give out some shout outs here, bro. Shout out to Jatster anyway, Axis Sensei in the YouTube chat. Yo, RoboCop, he's always here. You know what, RoboCop, you've been lacking, man. You've been the first commenter for a few weeks in a row. You know, I don't know what you've been doing. You gotta get back on it. Shout out to Ghosty, Toasty Ghosty in the building. You know, like you guys don't know this, but Ghostin has made a song. He's turned his Moki into a rapper. So soon you guys are gonna hear some songs from Toasty Ghosty or from his Moki. So it is what it is. But 300 people already pulling up through. We are still waiting on start, bro. Somebody go and get this, man. If not, we're gonna start the show. I'm not gonna keep this one held on for too long. But we got one more song to wheel up for today's select few. I appreciate everybody that's come through. The next song on the selection list is Skepta Finesse Kid Sirens. This is an Irish rap song. All right, it come out of Ireland, fresh out of Ireland. It tastes better than Guinness. All right, last song, and we will start today's show.
Hey, yo, Grease. Yeah. Too much CCTV now, I don't really want to get violent. You could get a punch from Ireland, and you could get a kick from Thailand. Slap from Nigeria, make you start hearing sirens. Woo, woo, woo. Shell, but too much salt.
We had a dysfunction that function. Gave him a slap from Southwest London. Caused a conundrum, now we can't function. Try to cause a disruption. I can't lie like them and do. I hear it, but I don't trust them. It's make-believe corruption. Could they not like that when I butt them?
It's easy to see that you don't get paid. You man are stressed, it shows. All of that talk about taking risks, you saw the skeg he froze. Stepped out in his bestest clothes, then you're in a hospital with your chest exposed. Swing, dip, t-shirt rip, mouth too big, should've kept it closed.
I rate that he's back in his bedroom. Now I'm gonna see what they're both on. I don't wanna hear FK allow me. I don't wanna hear FK hold on left. Weave right. Now it looks like you got fucked up Botox. Are you sure I'm who you wanna step to? Are you sure I'm who you wanna roll on? They see me in a cup with Skep. Now they think that I'm BBK. Fully on grease these days. Them man chat shit these days. That's why bro spin like the CDJs. Plug try give me a CCJ, TBH or CBA. I still live like GTA.
Too much CCTV now, I don't really want to get violent. But you could get a punch from Ireland, and you could get a kick from Thailand. Slap from Nigeria, make you start hearing sirens. Woo, woo, woo. Shell, but too much salt.
We had the dysfunction that function. Gave him a slap from Southwest London.
Sirens, Skepta Finesse Kid. Ladies and gentlemen, select songs of the day, bro. I hope you enjoy it. Shout out to everyone that's pulling up. It's time though. It's time. We got to lock in, man. I'm ready. See that I just feel like we're on the resurgence. I feel like we are coming back. There's energy flowing back through this space. You can see it on the timelines, but most importantly, or more importantly, shall I say, I'm starting to see the energy flow back to the Discord servers, to the guilds, to the players, to the people who have been waiting for gaming experiences. And we now have one as great as Fableborn. On top of that, Cambria Live right now, millions of dollars, millions of USDC has been flowing into that experience since Saturday. We got some metrics to talk through as well. Not only to mention some novel implementations by Fishing Frenzy with the fish token. A lot of teams now starting to replicate those identifications for community. It's like there's so much going on, and it's all happening here on Ronin. So today's show, we're gonna get to talk with G-Host. Of course, we did mention on a few shows ago the likelihood or the actuality is happening, right? It's not the likelihood, it is happening, of the end of year Ronin talk, I suppose, right? Like, and will be addressed at the end of the year as to where we will be heading in 2026. So exciting to know a little bit more about that. Of course, it's always a good time to just bring G-Host through and have a good conversation. You know, we provide the environment for him to be himself and so on. So that's what we're going to do today. We just bring G-Host through for a real conversation. Stark finally managed to get in, but I'm hearing, bro. What's happening? Can you let us know? Because we do not have the visual today.
My 8-year-old webcam has given out. I've tried 3 different USB ports and
On a day like today, bro. On a day like today, it's okay, brother. It's all right. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
GM. Yeah, no, I'm good. Things are good. I've been playing a lot of Fableborn. I started late. Like I didn't start on the first day or two. But once you get started, you're just like, holy shit! Why didn't I play this from the get go? It's just very easy, smooth. It clicks in. And
the topic is power. The topic is power, my friend. Have you been taking a look at the power token? I know it's available on things like Mexi. It's also obviously it's on Katana, but it's been moving. It's definitely been moving. 24 cents it currently sits at, showing some decent structure. I mean, hey, whoever that market maker is, bro, you're doing your job real well. We like that, but. At the moment, guild prize pool for Fableborn, the game, is racking up these in-game purchases. I don't know if it's in-app specifically or if it's the web browser dashboard spend that is going into this prize pool. But at the moment, it currently sits at 168k. That's going to continue to climb throughout the season. 24 guilds currently participating. Like it's really popping off, bro. And we're talking about potentially 100 members, maybe more in some of these guilds, so it's an exciting time. Like I said, it feels like early Axie days, so I've been playing the game myself a lot. I've actually got some dailies to do. I might do them during the show, but of course our big topic today, or not even topic, it's just the greatest guest that we can ask for in the Ronin network, and it is G-Host himself. So good morning, good afternoon, actually it's good evening for G-Host. What up, bro? How are we doing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sounding good.
All right, nice.
I appreciate you because I know it's late over there, and being up and being here for this, man. It's always it means a lot for you to come through and spend some time with us.
Nice shirt.
Of course, man. Of course. I missed you guys. It's been
a little while.
Life has been, it's been on the fly. We went to the Philippines. We picked up our awards. We saw the community out there. And then, went straight from there to Vietnam. From time to time, we assemble, right? We all converge on the heart, and which is the office here in Vietnam. And, we'll have those hard discussions, talk about some of the wins, talk about, the failures, what we've learned, and, to see if there are any strategic pivots, right? Or opportunities that we want to go after and seize.
Yeah, for sure. So you're going to be in Vietnam for a little while. Maybe come back for the holidays.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Cool, nice. So I mean, you mentioned it there. In Philippines, picking up awards. Shout out to Games 3. That's 2 years in a row, and it's make no mistake, like there's a reason behind that. From your perspective, Gios, how was that event? I know it was a while ago. We haven't been able to speak to you since. This was kind of pre all of the things that are happening today, and like the buzz kind of coming back. But what was the feeling like on the ground out there in the Philippines?
I mean, it's always special to be there, and it was consistent, right? I was thinking, oh, maybe, right, because of the market, people are going to be sad, or the turnout won't be like what it was in the past. But the energy was incredible. Our booth was packed, like you couldn't even move, and our booth was the most hype, the most packed that you could imagine. We saw a lot of early indications of what you're starting to see now, right? Like people were excited about Cambria out there. They also had a booth. People were excited about Fableborn. Moku Grand Arena turned into a full-blown spectator sport, and we're seeing that, hey, this is actually a castable thing. I was kind of shout casting. I lost my voice. That's also like, during my speech, I basically during my speech of the Games Award, I almost couldn't speak. But I had to find, the voice to capture the moment. But yeah, it was it was refreshing, right? Like I think for all the builders that go out there, Heidi, Hontao, and the Cambria team was out there. Last Odyssey had a presence, right? Everyone who's out there, you get energized by meeting, right, the people for whom crypto gaming, crypto means so much and has actually made a difference in their life. So as a builder, what you want to do is you want to build something that is enjoyed by real people, especially so in crypto, right? If you can build something that isn't going to is going to be able to transcend the typical crypto audience and move and attract a different archetype of user, and for you to be able to interact with those users, and there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Were there more booths than last year? Because I didn't come this year, but like last year.
The booths, we saw that there's been a reckoning, right? There's been a reckoning in the industry, and many of the teams have shut down. Many of the teams have given up, and many of the teams are gone. And that was also evident.
I would assume that there was like similar or even more amount of people there. I remember, I think it was the Friday or the Saturday, when school was out or something, and you could see all the kids there, etc. But I would assume they'd be, especially given the market conditions, etc., that there'd be less booths, just as many people, but less booths.
So yeah, attendance was pretty similar, maybe even up a bit. But the number of teams representing was down, which is good, right? More spotlight for the teams that were there. And that's one of kind of, maybe it's a brutal mentality, right? But it's just like, there were billions of dollars put into this industry, and it, I think that was a little bit premature, obviously, right? Like we caused so much hype that people were like, oh, trying to throw money at anything that looked like us, I guess. But the industry is maturing. And what are you saying? You're seeing that teams need to have both a really great game and a sound and interesting integration of the crypto, of the NFTs, of that whole aspect, right? So it used to be, maybe you can get by with one spike, right? But now you need to be solid across the board, and those are the teams that we're seeing kind of lift us up out of this muck.
Yeah, for sure. That's something I've actually noticed as well with obviously Fableborn is the main topic that we can kind of gather around with this in mind, but the necessity to have that in your arsenal to be able to produce a great game experience, but have this like Fableborn sat and waited on the sidelines for like a year. This game was essentially playable a year ago almost at the same quality as it is today in some degree, but they kind of they waited out the industry. They probably learned from other teams. They were preparing, and the crypto side of things and the infrastructure that goes along with that is so important that it's really overlooked. And the way that it was executed, with the power launch is like the best that we've seen in crypto gaming for at least my entire existence, right? Because I wasn't here for the inception of AXS. I'm seeing it perform like that before. So kudos to the team. We've had Cam on before the launch and everything, and we always have a good time with him. Know that he's got a really good team behind him, and also Power Protocol is very, very, very interesting. Another thing to talk about, which we'll get into later on in the conversation, is about how Power Protocol talking about another experience is soon coming. So that's massively interesting too. You're right though, VC funds and like investment funds were kind of throwing shit at the wall to see if it stick. And now, like I see Ronin being that center where there's teams, there's builders, they're sticking, right? And a lot of this money has kind of fizzled out. Maybe it's gone back into the hands, maybe a little bit less than what it left the hands at. But I feel like that we might enter a period of time where that changes. The industry takes a maturity lesson from the last few years, and the things that accentuate good builders is the environment that Ronin provides. So this is something that I'm looking at. And although price has really not been great, and the back end of this year and this whole year as a whole has just kind of felt rough. and having conversations with Cairo as well. But like, I am super bullish on the fact that this industry is inevitable still. It remains, but it is going to congregate and have an epicenter. And I'm biased in any way, but it's, for me, it's 100% Ronin, and we're seeing that right now. So let's talk about Fableborn as we are there, right? Geos, you've been playing it. You've been defending your kingdoms out here, putting those victory streaks for your kingdom. As a gamer, let's go gamer first. Well, how are you seeing Fableborn as a game itself? I know you love a mobile game too. I remember AxiCon Barcelona. You were sitting in the corner of like one of the after meetups, sweating one of these games on your phone. So I know that's your bag. Like, what do you think about Fableborn?
So I used to play Clash of Clans, right? Like I'm actually Supercell Maxi, Nintendo Maxi, right? So those are kind of like my two gaming companies that I really admire, other than Blizzard, of course. So the way that I see, right, like Fableborn is, it's like they looked at Clash of Clans, right? What is the thing that people enjoy about Clash of Clans? Part of it is, right, the idea of setting up your base. And then there's also the invading a base. But I think like the common thing that we always thought back in the day was like, what if we could just, right, very specifically control one character rather than, right, just only controlling, right, like just tapping where the
units,
guys
yeah,
go and then kind of just watching them, right? So it's a little bit too passive, right? So I feel like what Fableborn does from a, let's just say, gameplay perspective, without any of the crypto elements, is that it's provided a unique twist on this kind of kingdom building, base building genre, right? So it's not like something you haven't seen that before, right? It's a novel game in and of itself. It could do well even if it wasn't a crypto game, and it's not like a reskin of anything else that you've seen in the market. So that, I believe, is what allows the game to stand on its own 2 feet, regardless of anything related to crypto, anything related to the blockchain. And then, right, I think it was a really smart move to, hey, we're going to launch the token. We're going to launch with a ton of utility. You know, a lot of the in-app purchase and the shop, all of that integration is actually very simply very innovative, right? Because basically what you have happening is people are, okay, I love this game. I'm addicted to this game. I need to spend on the IAP, right? So you're spending on the IAPs. But then you realize, holy shit, I can actually get much better deal by, going to the Fableborn, right, to the website shop, and basically buying diamonds, right, with power instead of the Apple Pay system, right? And that was actually mind-blowing, right? So I was actually buying on my IAP, and my wife kept getting a notification. She's like, what are you buying? What are you buying? And I was like, I'm buying Fableborn gems. And then I realized that I could bypass the system by she's looking at me. I could bypass the system by buying on the Ronin network using the Fableborn shop. So this is actually really innovative, and right, it's like, boom, like there's already fiat demand for this. Now it's like, okay, the crypto use here is innovative because you're also being able to bypass the 30% fee. And this is all only made possible by the recent court victory of Epic Games v. Apple, right? So nice. A lot of the reason that crypto games, right, these kind of crypto payment systems weren't working is it used to be illegal to have this, right, out of app shop where you could basically accept crypto for the gems or whatever, right? So it's actually, Fableborn is actually, from my perspective, right, like basically leveraging a lot of the recent advancements that have almost from a regulatory, basically an app store regulation standpoint, have opened up for crypto games. We couldn't have done this shit with Origins, right? Like back when Origins was released. Origins is a great game. It was a little bit too early in some ways because a lot of the breakthroughs that needed to happen right? We made, right? Like we had to kind of spend a lot of work just getting Origins on the App Store, even without like crypto earning, right? And then we had to have Tim Sweeney and Epic Games win this case that basically allowed for the out of app purchase system. So starting to see things come together and starting to see it nice and neatly packaged.
Yeah, it's actually huge because I mean, I remember it like it was really recent, but it's probably like 2 years ago when, you know, we understood that mobile gaming was huge. There was a massive market for it within Ronin. Like a lot of the market in Ronin was Southeast Asia. A lot of Southeast Asian gamers are mobile gamers, but we had that hurdle of like the app stores are making this shit really difficult. And now you see today, you know, where these things are able to be in existence, right? The hub that Fableborn has for sure is a great way to utilize as well the power token. We've seen it. I'll put it on the screen for you guys who don't know. If you're just hearing about the power token as well, my God, I don't know what rock you've been under, but I mean, performing really, really well since it has come out. But these are the steps that we're making, and this is like the industry is just maturing. And it's always another hurdle, but I think we've definitely moved forward, right? Like we've moved tremendous distance over the last 2 years, even if sentiment isn't really there right now. But shout out to Tim Sweeney for winning that case, mate. You are a legend, helping us through. Okay, well let's focus a little bit on Fableborn even more here, right? Because guilds is something that reminds me a lot of the scholar setup that we saw with Axie, right? The way people are congregating right now, specifically, you know, I'm in Mark of the Zeal. Shout out to Cairo, shout out to Mark of the Zeal, shout out to Jatster in the chat as well. But the demand to get into a guild for this game is really picking up, and it's scarce, right? Opportunity is scarce, and it feels like those early Axie days. I don't know, Geos, are you participating in
I'm
a
in
guild?
a guild. You know, I wanted to learn more, right? Like about the daily life of a guild member, right? So I'm in a guild. You know, I was blessed to be accepted into Mark of the Zeal. And you know, I'm having a lot of fun, right? Like you feel like you have a sense of duty, right? So you have these guild bounties, right? So it's actually like a really innovative, actually. This is something that we actually want to do for Axie as well eventually, right? Is this basically guild bounty system where everyone is contributing to basically the bounty system or the quest system of their guild, right? So you feel like a lot of social pressure. We have something similar like this in Classic, actually, right? Where you feel like this social pressure to, you know, do your duty, to do your tasks, so that you don't let down your fellow teammates.
There's also a plugin as well here where there is a resource that's required to do the premium bounties. Like, so you can like signal to your guild members or your guild leaders that like you are down for the cause because you're purchasing that resource, which is adding power to the power prize pool as well, but also allows you to do the premium challenges and get more points there. So as Jatster has been mentioning in the chat earlier, I don't know if you saw it, Stark, but he was like, you guys need to complete your daily bounties. So Jatster is the head of the second Mark of the Zeal guild, so he's definitely been watching.
He's in chat cracking the whip.
Yeah, he's saying you better do your dailies, but no, really, like you said, it's like social signaling. You know, you can spend money to get certain resources to make sure you do the premium ones to show, like, you know, I'm gonna be a good, like I'm a good guild member, and let's win this thing. The leaderboard is shaping out nicely for my Mark of the Zeal boys. We love that. I don't know where is the leaderboard. Wait, here it is. We got it. Chronicles, though. Shout out to Raiden, bro. Like, I love to see this, man, because Raiden's been big in the space. You know, when it comes to crypto gaming, you know who Raiden is. He's got his own guild out there. I've been hearing as well on the ground, like he's been really facilitating a lot of people's, which is cool to see. But they're number one right now. Second place is Mark of the Zeal, which I'm surprised at, actually. I think this was different yesterday. Mark of the Zeal was in the number one spot. So you see it day by day. This becomes an even more important journey as the days go by. And I just feel this surge of demand. So hopefully you guys in the chat feel that too. Do you think this is that game, G-Host? Do you think this, like, Fable 1 has the potential to be one of those industry-breaking games?
I mean, it's looking good. Let's take it one step at a time. Let's take it one step at a time. Like, they're off to a really good. They've released a good token so far, and they have a good product, and those are two important components of this thing, and it seems promising, right? People are starting to see hope. People are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, right? I mean, this is what we've been saying, is that, right, the best games, right? I would be worried if there were games I was jealous of that weren't on Ronin, right? I believe that we've done a good job.
There is one. We can talk about it.
Yeah. And I'll always give one example of the game that I wish will eventually be on Ronin. Anyways, but I believe that we've done a great job aggregating, right, the best games on Ronin. I believe that we as an industry realize, hey, it's up to these remaining survivors to show something, or it's probably over, right? So the good news is that we have more than a handful of games that have a realistic shot of success, of getting the industry to the next level that will be needed, right, to kind of sustain everything else that's going on. So yeah, it's a good start. It's very promising. The timing couldn't have been better for something to kind of show that, this industry still has potential. This industry still has serious builders making products that have demand. I also think that, right, there was, with Monad on Coinbase, right? Monad on Coinbase, this is all speculation. But with my understanding is that, or my hypothesis is that, right, with Monad on Coinbase doing pretty well, and people kind of complaining about Binance, Binance probably also wanted a winner here, right? So probably, right, they've done things to support. So that's kind of how I see it, right? Is that actually a lot of the big issue with alts and gaming by extension is that, right, the Binance model wasn't working, right? Because teams would list on Binance and the token would go down, right? And so then that part of the flywheel, that part of the, right, marketing funnel wasn't working, right? Because it used to be, right, make a good game, have a good community, get listed on exchanges such as Binance, right? And then, right, you reach a new audience, and then it's off to the races. That's what worked for Axie, but that wasn't working for gaming or basically any alts this cycle, and that was a big issue. And that's also a big issue, right? If that doesn't work, that is a big threat to Binance's business model long term.
Yeah. What do you think that was, though? Do you think teams skip steps out? Because, like, the community part is not easy, right? A good game, good community, then launch on a launchpad like Binance. I think we had a lot of experiences that arguably skipped steps, and some of them even at the first hurdle with a good game, right? Like it has been difficult. To be honest, that conversation I can happily walk away from, and we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I think the way that I was thinking about it is there was a lot of pressure for teams to ship quickly, right? Just ship something, right? Maybe even we were guilty of giving this advice. Oh yeah, with Axie, we just put something out there and we made it better over time. But maybe that was, I think maybe that's the thing in the past. Maybe the development cycle of crypto games is becoming more like a Web 2 game or like a normal game where you work on it for a really fucking long time before you start showing it to the world, right? The thing that, right, Fable Run was unique, and I talked about this at Singapore, Token 2049, when asked about Fableborn. I said that they're actually very contrarian because they believe in craftsmanship, right? They believe in working on the game and not showing it to people until they feel proud of it. That was very different than the way that people have been approaching launching crypto games, right? Oh, let's just get something fucking out there. Just YOLO the token, right? And then we'll just build in public. Maybe that model is not working anymore, right? And
Yeah.
Fableborn was actually very much a diametrically opposite approach to building, and I think that's kind of paying off, right? So I think people got to they went too much to the end of let's just get something out there. Let's just get something out there, right? I think Fableborn also, right, had the blessing to be able to do this, right? They had sufficient funding to be able to withstand like the bear market, withstand, right, like pressures to just ship something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
people forget that it was a year since the last experience, right? That the whole year Fableborn were almost becoming a meme about like when's the next season, next season. Like the launch was so beyond expectation that people forget that like a week ago people were still memeing on Fableborn. Like that was last week.
The best,
Literally.
yeah, the best projects, right? Like the companies, right, that kind of always define gaming, they're always notorious for being a bit slow in some ways, right? Like Nintendo, right? Blizzard, right? Soon TM, right? It's literally a meme because Blizzard, right, will, right? There's like I think a Japanese quote said, right? It's like a late game, right, can still be a good game, but a bad game will always be a bad game, right? And there's, I think, it's I think that's a tension that we've seen, and it's I still think there's something good about being fast and shipping a lot, but maybe, right, like the idea is that, hey, like if you have a big launch, right, make sure that it goes well and make sure that you put the proper care and attention into it. It's a little bit like, also, to be honest, how we're doing Atia's Legacy, right? It's like, we worked on it for like 9 months before we showed anything to the world, right? And I think like the first impression was relatively good. So
yeah, we are on the topic of Axie. Play tests anytime soon, or is we talking 2026 periods for these?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2026. Hopefully within Q1, perhaps early Q2. And we've been doing some Lunacian lounges. So some of the things that have been, maybe to catch you up on the Axie side, right? Some of the things that have been discussed is basically testing the end game, testing some of the end game content, right? Because a game like this, the end game loop is the most important thing, right? Who cares if you make a game that's fun to get to max level and then you get to end game content and it's not fun, right? So what are the things that typically define like fun end game loops for these types of games? Is like social features, guild gameplay, and wars, right? Like kind of competitive PvP. So we're thinking about how to test that in like in a relatively bite-sized way. The thing that we spoke about in the last Lunacian Lounge is basically this idea of, right, like you have kind of like a dungeon, right? And different you'll have like a team of Axies, right? Like spawn up here, northeast corner, one up here, one down here, right? And then one down here. And then you're basically fighting towards the center, right? And you're fighting mobs, fighting towards the center, pushing towards this boss at the center. We can also like, right, gank each other, and you're not sure like what's going to happen at any moment. You're trying to, right? And then there's a lot of dynamics, element, right? So you're basically getting loot. Because that's what's fun about, right, Cambria, right? Is you're going out there and then you can basically lose it all in any time, right? So it's that PvE tension. That's something that we've learned.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So basically, those are our rough thoughts around what we want to deliver. We also talked about, right, like testing single Axie gameplay, because if we're gonna go for like kind of more, right, PvP, bigger battles, it might be like you're not gonna it sounds cool, right? We're gonna have 40 teams of 5 Axies fighting each other. You're literally just gonna be standing there and not really being able to maneuver. So
Yeah, too many factors at that point. I like that though, hearing like a ton of dynamics going into a game, like and a lot of things that you have to contemplate whilst going into it, but then also you can change at any moment. And are you versatile enough to be able to pivot? That sounds interesting, man. Listen, we put Axie on pause at the moment. We spoke about it last week with Cairo, where it's like, look, we know, Axie has its core fans, right? It's believers that will always be there, the collectors, the people that have been here from the early days. And I know that a lot of faith is still rested within that, but as of right now, it's like we kind of understand it. Even you mentioned about Origin and how we never could have had that experience that like Fableborn is doing right now back when Origin was launched, and that it was arguably too good and too early. Someone's going to meme me in the chat by saying too good, but too early. Can we completely write off the chance that like is Origin gonna be looked at, tweaked in any way, because its presence on the App Store? For me, I think I still have like the test flight version. I don't know if that's just me not being up to date, but these projects are definitely subsided, and the full focus is a Tia's Legacy, right?
I mean, you have to right, to focus, to make something great. You have to focus. To focus, you need to say no to things. You have to kill your babies, right? That's like the idea of writing, right? Great writing is about deleting, about saying more with less. That's also the principle of building great things, is to build something great by building less and making the things that you actually do build actually work.
So
I
was getting that one out there because I know there's some core Origin Axie Classic players that are still in the community.
I actually believe that, I was just saying this at HQ, like one day, if Atia's Legacy does well, if Axie, is able to do well, I'm sure that one day we'll make the sequel to Axie Classic or something like that, right? I'm sure that one day we'll do that along this journey. Today, is just not that day.
Facts. No, I agree with it. Anyway, I think that's the best way to go about it. Like you got to focus in. Atia's Legacy is going to be a much bigger experience as well. So there's a lot that needs to be all hands on deck. Kind of need to be in that experience anyway. So that's what I would ask for. You guys put all that effort into Atia's Legacy, and that's how we go about things. So end of year, Geos. You said you guys are converging in the heart in Vietnam at the head office, the headquarters. Have you guys has that meeting been had yet? The one that was specifically mentioned on the timeline, or is this like an upcoming thing this week, maybe over the next week? Like, has it been had? I want to get your sentiment check on like, you're like, okay,
we had meetings here in Vietnam, right? Like, some on the Ronin side, some on the Axie side, to basically help to define, like, does anyone have any crazy ideas, any good ideas, kind of figure out like the focus on kind of the two sides of the business.
Yeah, cool. We will wait, right? We're gonna get like
I'll give some like sneak previews, right? Because the point of these meetings is to also sometimes figure out, like, do we need to change something, right? Obviously, things haven't gone super well, right? Obviously, there are certain things that are starting to work, but I think we can do better. And there's this realization that we need to be better. Sometimes being better means, hey, do we need to do something differently? One of the interesting things that came up was, we need to be able to grow. That sounds obvious, but okay. But we need to be able to grow. And that means that we need to be able to attract people from outside of the Ronin ecosystem. That means that we need to basically be able to attract other people from outside of Ronin who are already in crypto. That's kind of like attract people from other chains or onboard people from centralized exchanges. Or, we need to be able to onboard totally new Web2 users. But the thing that has been identified is that the current flows and processes for onboarding, both from within crypto to Ronin and from outside of crypto to Ronin, are not good enough. Obviously, right? Like in 2021, a lot of people were able to figure it out. Why? We were giving out $10 million of SLP per day. So people were like scrambling to figure it out, right? But
Yeah, it's a
we're no
pretty good
longer
marketing
giving
plan.
out $300 million a month. Okay. That's not an option, right? So we need to be able to grow. We need to be able to onboard people. And the current wallet onboarding aspect, onboarding onto Ronin isn't good enough. So a lot of the thinking that we're doing is like, how do we basically build a system that's better? Build a system that makes it super seamless to get money onto Ronin, to buy Ron, to become part of this ecosystem. So that is like the number one problem that we have to solve, regardless of anything else.
Yeah. The majority of people that are in this crypto space, like I think the participants that have kind of survived and are still here, still are attentive, arguably are in some ways creators, right? Like they're trying to bring something to the table because they see an opportunity in this industry. And of course, like you said, a great marketing strategy is giving $300 million out a month. I think that would work for any product, whether it was a piece of shit or not, right? Like, but now we're in the present day where like a lot of these people are still here in this space. I wanted to know from you personally, like, what do you think the power of the creator is in that journey, right? Because if we're looking at how things have been operating and we're categorizing those as arguably not good enough, like do creators still are there still like a larger component? Because when I think about marketing and bringing people in, I think of other Web2 companies or industries and like how they do it, and it seems that we are like in a world where it still is very much creator centralized.
Yeah,
now
so
this isn't a dig, right? Yeah. I don't want to make a dig. Like I don't think it's a dig. I just don't think that we have hit the premium of like what creators do and the engine that they become for products. I don't think we've hit that. Being a creator myself, is kind of putting myself down in that position. But I don't think we've done that yet. Is that an important component?
And that is all limited by the onboarding experience, right? So let's talk about like. I was talking to some really big Pokemon creators, right? When we had the Pokemon card system, right? The Jin's Fortune Spin with the Pokemon cards, right? Talking to them, hey, like, you want to do a stream? You want to do some pack opening? And they're like, yeah, we're happy to take your money. But, I just tried to get money onto Ronin to use this thing. And it was none of my users are going to do this. None of my audience is actually going to do this. Right. Yeah. So, yes. Right. That's a good thing, right? It's a good thing that Web2 Web2 marketing is very creator centric right now, because that's our bread and butter. That's what we know how to do. But still, right. The thing that we see is even when we talk to creators, and this is something that Web3 creators also, I think, should recognize, is that your ability to convert is being severely limited by the fact that it's much harder to basically actually get money onto these platforms.
Yeah, it's a comment that we made on the show last week, kind of in manifestation of today's show. And one of the questions we were thinking about was like, it's bizarre to me that like we have all of these experiences and we have this greater ability for distribution, yet 9 out of 10 games right now do not have a sophisticated referral process that like a creator can take on and clearly display their ability to convert. I think that's largely one of the paths we've gone down in this industry, has been wasted spend, because there is such blurred lines with like who converts and who doesn't, like who's effective and who isn't. Like metrics are one thing, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's about bringing users and then money on board into an ecosystem, into a product, and that's kind of the service that's paid for. But there aren't even really clear ways to define that. And me and Stark were talking, was like, well, look, I mean, we had Axie codes at one point, and then we didn't, and now I can't reference a really solid referral program. I think the last one was probably Fishing Frenzy, with their referral programs. But like 9 out of 10 games that we have in this industry, like if I was to go back and check all of the things that we've spoken about, the shows that we've done on Ronin Radio, we can see volume spikes on charts here and there. We see NFT spikes. Those are the things that we can pull and say, look, we think we had an effect, but we don't definitively know. So I think you're actually right here that the onboarding process with that, like,
a lot of the
sophistication
onboarding
will make it easier.
a lot of the onboarding process there is partly to blame. Yeah, but I also do think that there's something around, right, being more disciplined with referral attribution, right? That's maybe a little bit of it related, but also parallel issue. We're talking to Fishing Frenzy, right? As I mentioned, I think I mentioned this, and people seemed interested, right? Is imagine like a system that, okay, it's like Kaido you have the Kaido top for the top of funnel kind of measurement, but then you also integrate the Fishing Frenzy thing. So that you're actually able to basically track conversions, right? And then you basically get this kind of creator score that's, right, part top of funnel awareness. And that's also useful, but it's not as useful without the context of, right, like what are you doing with the mid funnel, bottom funnel metrics?
Yeah. Gio, so you share this view. I think the Ronin wallet is the greatest crypto wallet product that exists. All right, in 2026, can we take that wallet to being unquestionable across this industry as necessary? You need this, and people almost imitate. I see wallets in other ecosystems worsening, in my personal opinion. I think Stark shares his opinion too. Things like MetaMask is like becoming more and more annoying.
MetaMask is
getting worse, right?
worse. It's worse. It's horrible. The amount of clicks you need to figure out what to copy paste your wallet address on MetaMask alone. Just go into your MetaMask and try to find a wallet address, and you'll just pull your hair out.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at here is that as a gaming, and so I still see us as the identity as the gaming network. Although we are going to, we're going to go with optimism, and we're going to go full open network on a fundamental basis in 2026. I still see our identity as gaming network. Like, I envision like the Ronin wallet being almost like the Game Boy Advance SP of that era, of like being something that like normies, they actually desire the wallet firstly, and then the game experiences are an accentuation to that. How much focus is going towards wallet developments in 2026? Because I know we have this idea of the Ronin profile, right? And that's going to be attuned to your wallet and the actions you do and make with your wallet itself. I was just wondering whether you share like an opinion on that, like how critical the wallet is in this whole process.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. I mean, so basically, right, we're talking about like key developments or revelations from the real leadership meeting, and basically one of the things that we realized is that, hey, like we got a good thing going with the wallet. Let's double down. And is there a way that we could grow the wallet? Is there a way that we could get the wallet to onboard Web2 users, right? Whether it's kind of like a slightly different modification of the wallet or something else, right? But there's something that does seem to be really good there. And I guess, and the question that we had was like, right, with the QRPH thing that's happening, is there a way that we could become, right, the default crypto wallet of certain countries, right? Not just, right, we can funnel them into games, right? That's obviously, if we can acquire users for the wallet, that's going to be great for all the applications and experiences and games on the Ronin network, right? So that's, that is a big aspect of the thing that we've discussed, right? Yeah, I think the profile is an interesting feature. I think the profile though is like nobody's gonna come to the Ronin network. Oh, like they have the profile, right? So that was kind of like, that was the reframing, is like, what could we do? What would we need to build to be able to start growing again? And a lot of the, right, I think the wallet is great once you're within the ecosystem. But is the wallet as good as it could be for someone newly joining the ecosystem? I think, right, there's a lot of opportunity there, right? And right, could there be a benefit to using the wallet that is very tangible and understandable to someone who's right totally new to crypto.
Yeah, for sure. I've asked a lot of questions, Stark. I want to pass the mic over to you. I don't know if you have some things you want to address. I do want to touch on, there is one bonus topic that I'll bring up afterwards, and then we also have some questions that we gathered from the community across different guilds and in our radio server as well. So we'll take those on at the end. But Stark, if you have anything, mate, please share with us.
I've just been abusing the fact I don't have a webcam to play Fableborn on while I've been participating to all this listening to you guys talk and chatting. It's yeah, I guess just wondering, have you played Cambria as well then, Jihos?
I've
talked a lot about
I'm a
Fableborn.
guild. I'm like the guild mafia boss in Cambria. I have like 3 guilds.
You're not the level one.
I actually played more last
moment.
season, to be honest. I played more last season. I'm away from kind of desktop, right? So I haven't been able to to do my own thing. I did, play a lot last season, but I've been, but I'm more of like a guild master.
It's because we have like drastically, drastically might be a bit of overkill, but very different experiences, right? We have Fableborn that's very beginner friendly, very newbie friendly, very much more casual, and then you have Cambria where it's just like some people, the onboarding experience is not as smooth. Let's say you've got the earnings there, right, that are eclipsing those of Fableborn. So like let's just call them like the hardcore grinders in crypto. And gamers are there, and it's much more intense, right? So it's cool like to have like very, very different experiences.
Yeah, so this is something, right, that me and Hanta were talking about in the Philippines, right? Is that you probably have like a barbell approach to adoption, which is that you're gonna have some games that are very, they seem like a Web 2 game in a lot of ways, right? But they're using crypto in very specific areas, right? This is something like Fableborn. But then you also have like your very like Web3 native, pretty kind of degen core experiences, and that's something like a Cambria. And I think there's room for both. I think the things that will struggle are things that are in the middle that don't really know their identity.
Yeah, that's actually a really important point, especially for any teams that are out there building and shaping up. There are two extremes, and we're seeing right now like the performance factor of those two extremes. And I mentioned yet again, both of those experiences are here on Ronin. But Cambria is like your full degen Web3 experience, like RuneScape on chain, like all the way, right? And if you have all of the time luxury to participate in such a thing, you have all of the crypto capabilities to be within a chance, within an opportunity to make that time spend worth it and valuable for you. And then Fableborn on the other end is very premium product Web 2 game that has the accentuation of crypto elements and opportunity that exists in it also, but very much different. And then you add in Grand Arena, which almost adds a trifecta here, to be honest. A totally new experience than we've seen before. Preseason, I think, we're in the phase right now where it's like Grand Arena like had all this hype kind of bubbling up, and I think people heard about it because Ronin people spoke about it so much, and the Moku community are champions of their product as well. So shout out to all of you guys. So people started to hear about it, and the convo was bubbling up, and all of us, we were hyped just to get our hands on the preseason because we've had our Mokis for so long. We want to see them do things. So for us, the preseason was like wow, yes, celebration moment. We've got preseason. For the mass market, preseason means absolutely fucking nothing. I'm just going to bottom line it at that point. Unless you came in, purchased a Moki, and this is your first experience with it, the preseason doesn't mean anything to you. Once preseason ends, I think we have this lagging surge that Grand Arena Season 1 potentially has to bring in. That fantasy element and allowing AIs to play the game for you is essentially an application that hasn't been explored. You look at Kalshi, you look at Polymarket, right? Prediction markets, right? Then their entertainment basis is based upon external things, third-party things to those companies, right? This is different with Grand Arena because it's prediction markets going to be included in the product itself, right? But the experience and the entertainment layer is conjured up within, you know, Moku and what they've been able to build, and it really is an interesting concept that I think if it's taken to, and we've seen the money that's gone to prediction markets this year. Prediction markets overall for me has to be number one, the winner of 2025 in terms of drawing users in, drawing volume in. And I think there's a lot of that will be shown in Grand Arena, and it's proven that it's a product point that people want to interact with. I called it in a conversation with the biggest footer on planet Earth. I'm sorry, I love you, Rallo. Rallo is, we were talking about it. He's actually really bullish on this, so I don't want to put words into his mouth. He's really bullish on this experience. But how important it is for entertainment if you add stakes to it, and how much more entertaining that thing becomes. You know, we started this conversation off talking about how live casting was happening at YGG Play Summit on Grand Arena, and I think we're yet to really experience the retardedness that could come with the experience opening up. So just to mention it there, you know, he was mentioning Hantao, rest up. I hope you're recovering well. But there was two ends of the spectrum here, and I really believe in the trifecta of like Moku is probably going to be standalone, but an experience that people are going to gravitate towards, as in like, oh fuck, what is this new shiny thing? And I know we've done that in the past before, but I think once we keep those three corners really stable, and then we start to see competitors and the quality of the space starts to rise, as we have seen also to just the general maturity of this industry. I genuinely think 2026 is going to be a very, very exciting year with those three products alone: Cambria, Fablable, Moku, with Grand Arena. And you know, they're all going to happen here. So exciting times, man. I know you've been training your Mokis, right? You've been in the field. You got like some specific Mokis that you say you got the best Mokis, right? I've been seeing on the timeline.
I got a squad. You know, I got a squad. They're punching above their weight. So the way that I always think about this is, I think 68 Mokis with no. I have 58 Mokis. I have around 0.67% of the supply.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I have between 4 to 5 Mokis in the top 100, right? So that's between 4 to 5% of the Mokis in the top 100, right? If I was just an average manager, I should only have 0.67 Mokis in the top 100, right? So I'm actually like really into sports analytics. I'm actually an amazing sports investor, sports gambler, right? That's how I used to make money.
Was crazy, G-Host. Investor was crazy.
I used to make money on this as a child. As a child, I used to make money about my uncle, my dad runs the American football pool at his office. So I grew up around this, right? Like in Thanksgiving, people talking about spreads and all these things. So yeah, it touches that aspect, and it's fun that it's around this new IP, this new sport that has basically been invented. So yeah, I'm very, very, very bullish on it. Very excited about it. Preseason's been fun, right? I'm doing it every day, and that's what I love about what's happening on Ronin right now. There was a period where I wasn't really excited to use our own products, right? But now it's like I have my Ronin routine back, right? I'm doing Grand Arena. I'm checking my Moki stats. I'm seeing if there's any change in strategy that's needed on a daily basis. I'm doing my daily runs for my guild.
Your codex.
I'm doing my duty to my guildmates. And then I'm also, right, like I'm checking in on my guilds for Cambria. Yo, how we looking? Are we gonna win? Are we going for that top spot? What is needed from my end? How can I help? So the fact that this is happening is amazing, because at the end of the day, you have to make products that you yourself love. If you don't love your own products, then it's not going to work. And I felt for a bit of time we were waiting, right? Oh, we have all these hypothetically amazing games that are coming, that are that are waiting for the right moment. And now we're getting boom, 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 successive launches of the quality of things that
Mhm.
people actually want, of things that actually either solve a demand or a problem for real people. And so yeah, that's what I'm liking. And as I mentioned, right, this is a big month and it's off to a pretty good start. But it's just step one, right? It's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long road, but that toil, that work,
Mhm.
that's our zone of genius. We love to be in that zone, right? We love having a chip on our shoulder and coming back from the brink of death, right? Like it's not Ronin, it's not Axie if it's not like that, right? That's
Yeah.
our for good, better or for worse, right? Like there's torture in that process, but
Mhm.
that is our right. That is our golden zone.
It's arguably the best purification process that you can have as well for the right people to be congregated around it. So I see that too. All right, Gios, I know we've been here for an hour. I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's late over there as well. A few more questions to come in. One of them that I wanted to just ask, like, let's elaborate on it. Gigaverse, right? What is it about that game that you really like, and is there a path where that becomes a Ronin experience?
I mean, I play that game, right? Like I play that game. So for me, I think that they've done something interesting, and I like the way that that team builds. I like the product. Like I have fun with it, and for me, right, I think of myself as right. I was one of the first CryptoKitty users, right? I started out as an Axie user, right? So I believe that I have like good taste with products. So there's something there, right, that's caught my eye and made me want to play and use it. Anything like that, I want to have on Ronin. So.
Yeah. Well, they raised 2 million in September, 18 million plus views on YouTube in the last 30 days. I don't know what's been going down there, but these are metrics that we gathered before the show today. $4.5 million in revenue from September to the start of December. This year, which that is a huge testament, because there are not games in this space that are really pulling in revenue like that. So Clear as one of the survivors of this year for sure. What it records, though, is over 75,000 players. We're talking about on a daily spectrum here, which, we're not going to go into that boring old conversation of, are they real human beings? Everyone, the whole of Ronin is full of bots, mate. We've been there. We've done that. We've got the fucking T-shirt. But over 75,000 players, it's saying on there. So Play Gigaverse, I would say, as based on those metrics, is definitely a successful product right now. An experience that would fare well, I believe, on Ronin. They have been the first, I think, with interesting AI integration in the game as well. So some interesting paths that could open up there. I won't probe for anything more. If there are talks, there are talks. If there are not, there are not. But if G-Host is interested, that is, I think, is a good sign to the team itself that, like, hey, there's, if you guys want to be on the actual gaming network, there's probably a chance for that. So let us know in the comments and chat, bro, if you fuck with Gigaverse, you've played it before, if you'd like to see that experience on Ronin, let it be known, bro. Being vocal about it could be what causes it to be true. These are questions from the community, G-Host, and at this point of the show, shout out to everyone that's been here. Over 1,000 people come through and tuned in. If you have any questions, please throw them into the chat. Shout out to Spliffy Magoo there saying, can we get some Pixel Bull talk? Bro, Pixels is always bullish because this is a crypto-based experience, a social layer on the internet, right, that has the ability to harness IPs across different applications, right, and bring an experience and congregate users of crypto gaming in one place. Bro, forever bullish on Pixel.
What's her name? Heidi.
Ooh, wait, be careful now.
Heidi came to the office,
Oh.
and I saw some stuff, right? Like I was also with Luke in the Philippines, and they are also gearing up for some launches now that also are aimed at, right, being able to bring net new users into crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so they've shown, right, that pet app, and then Luke has also talked about basically this offer wall system using Web3 incentives, and so yeah, Pixels, you always know that they're grinding, they're getting better at their reward system, right? They have a very passionate, stalwart community, so never sleep on them, right? Because they're kind of like their own independent team, right? They're very self-reliant, and that they're just going to be, right, off in their laboratory cooking up new experiments.
Yeah. Permeable on the old Pixels. Okay, this was, I compartmentalized this because there was a lot of questions that basically said this in essence, but they were one of the biggest things that was pushed forward was like the concept of what other arrows in the quiver are there. I know it's not like we're going to be hearing like, hey, Jiho's exclusive drop on the biggest announcement on Ronin that Ronin hasn't announced yet. That's obviously that's not the case here, but like suggestive language I may help here, Gios. Is there other things that we have lined up, other shots that we have to take, other silver bullets you think we have?
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of the show talking about promising experiences on the Ronin network, and rightly so. There's a whole other aspect to the chain, right, which is the upgrade to proof of distribution. There's the token and the inflation, right? The inflation on the RON token this year is around 25%. In my opinion, explains a lot of almost all of the underperformance, right, relative to other things. And so one of the things that we're discussing at HQ is, right, like, is there something that we can do to basically get that number under control, to dramatically reduce it? So that's something that we're also working on. We'll share, right, the details soonish, right? But you want to be careful and make sure that that's something that you don't necessarily want to rush too much. But also, right, we do understand that, right, the token is a product, and token also needs maintenance and upgrades and facelifts over time. And I think one of the main things that we've realized is, hey, right, on the supply side, there's a lot we can do. Supply side, fixing the supply side also helps with the demand side, but there are also things perhaps on the demand side that we can do.
Yeah, there's only like less than like a third left to go into circulation at this point as well. Like, we are very mature.
That's
as
also the good news, right, is that we've gone through a lot of the brunt of the inflation, right? So it was kind of like the inflation was kind of like this, if that makes sense, because at the beginning, right, we the team didn't get you had cliffs, right? So actually at the beginning, the inflation was relatively slow, but then it sped up, right, as some of these supplies started to unlock and basically accelerate their unlocks. And now, right, we're at this point where, yes, it's kind of naturally going to start tailing off, but is there, right, hard times require drastic solutions, right? So are there things that we can do to be more aggressive about getting inflation down, let's say to 5-7%? That's what we're exploring.
Yeah, solid, man. That's really good to hear. This is a bit of a dickhead question, I'll be honest. But I can't go off the show without mentioning it. And I just to premise it, I think this is definitely a statement or something that people are inquiring in their own minds anyway. How do you feel about, although it's great success for Fableborn, but right now people are like memeing at the fact that Fableborn's power token is more valuable than Ron. What is that like? How does that make you and I don't know, the team really feel about that situation?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is, right, I think goes back to my earlier point, which is, right now the supply of the Ron token isn't really under control, right? What they've done is, like, they've done a good job of, right, like, getting supply under control. And so yeah, I think that also is like another data point towards, hey, there's something potentially wrong with the amount of tokens in circulation right now, or the amount of tokens that are being emitted right now.
Yeah.
But
Well,
also, right, like it's great. It's great. It's good that power, right, is doing so well on the, and I think that's still a point that shows the power of the Ronin network's ability to cultivate strong projects.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually sparks the conversation and then debate around how, applications should arguably be more valuable in some ways than the network, because that's where the net spend is actually going to be. That's where like the consumer purchases product, et cetera, which would be a cool debate to have. I mean, but at this point in the show, I think we would definitely go way, way far into tangents on that. So let's talk about another question that came from the community. It was actually in regard to Or's tweet that was talking about the proposals of idle ETH and USDC in the Ronin treasury, and putting them into yield-bearing positions, buyback and burn Ron from that. Like, there's a ton of things that we can put forward. It's not about that one specifically. On top of these governmental governance topics, right? We see Axie AIPs being passed. There's another one that's live right now. So if you have your Axie score, go ahead and make your votes count over there. Something that's, I think, is overlooked. But do you personally have desire for like this more decentralization across these products, across Axie, across Ronin itself? Like, are those things that are like personal desires for you? I don't, have to talk on behalf of Sky Mavis or the team here, but just from your perspective.
Decentralized governance is hard. It's something, right, that I think there's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah, I think that Axie has made a lot of great progress with it, and I think that it was great that we had that Ron buyback and buyback proposal that was passed, put forth by Arctic, and then put into action. And so yeah, I mean, I believe that there are great minds in the community, and I believe that it's great that people in the community can put forth proposals and potentially have those things put into action. So I don't think it's a panacea or a cure-all or a silver bullet, and but I do think that it is a promising aspect of crypto, and I do think that we have, right, like especially on the Axie side, have created systems and have had votes with more turnout than you see, in other projects. I'd have to crunch the data, but I think, right, some of the Axie votes have been, have had more participation than, some of the votes that you see in DeFi.
Yeah. Boom, your question on G-Host's skincare. I don't know how relevant that is in today's show. No, looking great as always. I think we'll call it a day right there, G-Host, bro. I think I'm very optimistic for this end of year recap and addressing that we will have very soon. I'm glad to still be here, after this year. These are good signs we're seeing pop up right now, and I think the resurgence is really starting here on Ronin within crypto gaming. So glad to hear your perspective on the last month as well, and all the things that have been going on. And it's always a pleasure to have you here, bro. But the floor is yours, just in these last minutes or so, just to address anything you want to say. Let the community know certain things, instruct them. Let's see what we got.
As always, I'm super proud of the resilience that we see in the community. I believe that crypto in general is having a bit of an existential identity crisis right now. People are saying, why are we here? Have we wasted our lives? Have we wasted the last 8 years of our lives in crypto? And it's really mainly on Ronin where I see people using products with love. So if you want to go do something, about the situation, right, that we're in, that the space is in, I would tell you to go out there, play Fableborn, right? Try out Cambria, try out Grand Arena, right? Because when I'm when I'm feeling down and I'm thinking about our long-term positioning, my lens is always, hey, do we have interesting things happening on the network? Do we have the best experiences when it comes to making things for everyday people, making things that aren't just, right, like the gambling speculation aspect of crypto? And I cannot find, right, another network that has the lineup of experiences that we do on this Ronin network. So that's the thing that gives me hope. That's the thing that, right, I spend my days on. And I would be worried, right, if it's like, oh, right, this other network has all these experiences that are doing that are trying to do what we're doing but better. But I don't see that, right? We still take home the awards when it comes to the best ecosystem. And I also think that we need to get better, right? I need to be better. Sky Mavis needs to be better. Everyone needs to level up, right? If you think about this as a manga, right? It's like we're going through this journey together. We need to constantly be getting better. We need to be learning. We need to be taking what we see as working elsewhere and incorporating that into our products, into our network.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, there are a lot. The situation has changed dramatically just within the last 10 days or so. And so, if you want to do something, if you want to help, there's plenty of products to use. There are plenty of products to promote. And that's the thing that's the thing that makes me happy, right? Is that finally we're having things on Ronin that are actually fun, that are actually usable on a daily basis. So that shows to me that we're in the right direction.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Keep up the Kaizen. G-Host, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. If I don't get to talk to you between now and then, happy holidays, my friend. Enjoy Christmas. The new year is around the corner, and I think 2026 is going to be a real opportunity for Ronin to go and show what it's about, man. So thank you for coming through, and enjoy the rest of your evening there in Vietnam. Say hey to the team for me, and yeah, man, let's just lock in for the back end of this year. But always a pleasure to have you here, my friend.
All right, man, let's do it. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next time.
Peace. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yo, listen, I'm telling you, man. I just
check
think
out my
like,
shirt, by the way.
Yeah, it's the first thing I saw when he came up.
Yeah, the first thing it's fire. Wait, the
wow. Send up, short. Wow.
Yeah. You gotta give the. We got. Nah, Gios, where we buying this? Let's just be real.
You can't do this to us.
This was a present, a gift that I received in the office.
Is this a collab with that? What's the name of the company?
Dream Temple. No. That one is a different shirt.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Gios, but you see that one right there? Yeah, we just said Merry Christmas. That would be one hell of a way to say Merry Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, that shirt is fire. Shout out to Boom, because when you stood up, Gios, he said yeah, and it's tickled me, bro. I'm not holding back laughs on that one. Fuck me. You guys are fucking stupid. I love you all in the chat, but you guys are stupid. Oh, word? Yeah, you see, like right here, there's a space for my boy Katara to come and show with us. Those are fire. Well, is it like hard? Is it like glass or plastic or?
It's like some kind of resin.
Yeah. I was gonna say if it's glass, that might be a little too delicate, but yeah, we got to get merch out there, man. 2026, a lot of things can happen, a lot of things can change. The faith for me is always going to be there. I'll be the last man standing here if it needs to be, but I think we have a lot of good signs, bro. You'd be very ignorant to overlook what is possible for 2026. And I think when you do think about it genuinely, there is a macro, you said it, there's a macro existential crisis with crypto in itself that can be over or just irrational in some ways. And also then macroeconomics too. Actually, that's the last thing I'm going to ask you, host. Right now, macros, all right? Because me and Stark, we've been in the trenches, right? Shout out to Theban as well. We traded all through November and parts of October. We've been helping each other Kaizen in that field, the understanding and the management and so on and so forth. We've been watching Bitcoin like a hawk for over a month, maybe 2 months, like pretty much every day. There's interesting news that comes out this week that could have effects on the industry at large, crypto, and obviously the financial industry across the board. You normally have a great scoop on things that are happening and your stance on it. Rate cuts are looking possible.
So
you have any takes for this week?
So 25% basis point cut is basically guaranteed for tomorrow. I think there's like a 1% chance that it goes to 0.5. I think the thing to watch will be the commentary to see, like, I think the employment data hasn't been great. So if they basically harp on that as like, hey, like we may need to, basically being more dovish, which means more towards the side of easy money printing or whatever, that is, what the market will be looking for if it wants in order to go up. Right. So, the Fed, we'll get a new Fed chairman in May of next year as well. So yeah, we're going to see, right? Like, what is the key? What is the real driver of crypto? Is it easy money or is it the 4-year having it? Right. So that's kind of like the tension, right? Because that we're seeing. Also, obviously, crypto is kind of maturing a bit. So
that cycle might be growing out, right? Yeah.
So
these are interesting concepts.
Yeah. Well, so one right thesis will be proven wrong, right? Either right, it was the 4-year cycle all along, or right, it's just that the 4-year cycle happened to line up with right money printing, and now right. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Oh boy, keep your eyes peeled. Actually, last question, Gios. What do you tend to do on those days of like, tomorrow? I guess is a day of significance because we will get the announcement of rates being confirmed. Like, what do you do on days like that?
Well, I used to be a trader, right? Like when I was in high school and college, right? So we'll read up, and in preparation, and then kind of make a plan, right? If I want to change any of my positioning, right? Let's say in this case, right, maybe my stock portfolio or my Bitcoin or ETH portfolio, right? To say, hey, like, do I have cash? Do I want to be adding to my position if I see that it's bullish, or if it's right goes the other way, right? Do I want to be, lightening up my Bitcoin or something like that, right? So you want to kind of go and make a plan. You want to, make a plan depending on your personal situation, and then think about, right, the different types of outcomes, right? So, like either it's going to be like bullish, right? Because bullish, bearish, and do you want to be buying or do you want to be lightening up your exposure, or do you want to just be kind of maybe sitting tight depending on the situation? So.
Yeah, sounds super easy, right? But one of the hardest games in the world to manage a portfolio sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, thank you. It's been awesome. I think I would love a DGen trading session with you at some point, Gio. So we'll pull you through and see what you got, man. But
my strategy is just not to be DGen, because my mom was a trader. My mom was.
I've seen you quoted it before, right, on the timeline.
My mom, right, like worked at a Japanese bank called Nomura. She's Korean, but she worked at a Japanese bank because she speaks Korean, she speaks English, she speaks Japanese. And so she would always tell me, right, just like buy, don't short, because if you short you can lose infinite money. But if you buy, you can only lose all your money. And it's also right, just like buy things that you love, especially when you're young. So that's kind of like the advice that she gave me growing up.
WGO's mom. Oh well. Listen, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Thank you so much for taking an hour and a half of your time out to be with us and talk with us. Let's keep it going, man. Kaizen continues, and we'll see that carry through to 2026, bro. We need merch, bro. We need that shirt on a marketplace for people to buy. I'm telling you, the numbers will go up. Just believe me, Gios. That shirt is a winner right there. But thank you for coming through, my friend. Much love. Stark.
Yes.
I ain't even seen your face today. I need to see your face to feel like the world is a great place.
Really?
Look, okay. I know this is live on the show, and maybe it should be a conversation had outside of the show. But you know what? Fuck it, mate. We just had a great show. Shout out to G-Host for coming through. I hope you guys got answers to your questions. We addressed the ones that were in the radio server. If you're not in the Ronin radio server, then well, you didn't have a question to get pulled up, did you? You could have asked it in the chat also. But I'm going to ask you this question, Stark. Is your webcam really dead, or are you severely hungover?
It's really dead. But I am also slightly hungover.
Yes. Oh, not severely. That's good.
So,
That's good.
The thing is, I've just come off. I did a dry November. I did like 5 weeks of just locking in and let me tell you, the first time drinking after 5 weeks of stopping is not kind to me.
That hangover must hurt, bro. But also, like, you're cheaper. You may just have a cheaper date.
Yeah.
To be honest,
that's the joke I was saying last night. But yeah, no, but yeah, like it's I've got all my PC parts for a new PC, and it just so happens that like my chair is breaking down. I'm gonna go pick up a new chair tomorrow. My webcam's dying. It's just like everything is breaking at the seams.
Yeah. Well, those of you that are still left in the chat, bro, we can keep it going a little bit. I got some time. I got time today, bro. We've seen from Spliffy Magoo. He's saying, "What's up? What's good with Moki? Do people play that shit?" I was talking about Grand Arena, bro. We're in the preseason right now. We were talking about it briefly. Preseason is essentially where you train your Mokis.
We just had Gio saying like that he had 4 or 5 Mokis in the top 100.
Yes.
Notice that he didn't reveal anything. He
didn't reveal them. Yeah, he didn't reveal any alpha.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like,
I'm trash, bro. Look at my Mokis suck. My Mokis actually suck dick, bro.
I have a similar amount of Mokis that he does. I think I have more Mokis than Geos has, and I have 0 in the top 100.
Bro, I don't even have 1 in the top 1,000. I suck,
bruh.
But anyway, you're supposed to, I don't know why this is the way it is. Like, what am I doing? Let me know if I'm fucking up. I've been training speed every single time. I don't know why, but that's just what I've gone about it.
That's all I've been doing. I have a rank 120 Moki, so just it's 128. It's falling by the second.
Yeah. So Spliffy, to address you directly here. Basically, you get your Mokis. You have stats for your Mokis. You can train your Mokis, right? These are the sessions that they go through. You know, if they have good sessions, they have a higher increase, right? An okay session, you see, is a lower increase as it is. Fail is absolutely no increase. But you can train your Mokis over 2-hour periods, 8-hour periods, or 24-hour periods. Or is it 12? I don't know. It's 20. I haven't even done that one. So
2, 8, or 24.
2, 8, or 24 hours of training, and their stats get improved as you do that. You see strength, speed, defense, dexterity, and fortitude. That determines how they perform in the games themselves. Games are happening in preseason, but these are preseason games, so there's no like prize pool or leaderboard that is going to significantly matter other than the top 100 Mokis at the end of this preseason will get a champion slot, which makes them a official sportsman in season 1 that people will be able to put in their fantasy lineups. That means they will be in packs, and the packs will be purchased, right? And every time a pack is purchased, if your Moki happens to be in that collection or in that, what do they call it? Like, I don't know. Anyway, if your Moki, if it's in that, if your Moki exists in the packs, right? And people are buying packs because your IP is in the packs and you own that Moki, because thanks to crypto and NFTs, we have the definitive factor that is owned by such wallet. You will get a distribution of the total spend on packs at the end of the season. So it's a way for your Moki to become a yielding asset if it is getting IP royalties from the game itself.
I'm ready for season 1, man.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm like this is fucking. We're just at the point now where it's like, okay, cool. Like we've been clicking buttons for a few weeks, but can we actually have some fucking dopamine from this thing?
I want to open my fucking booster boxes, bro.
True. That's the dopamine I am looking for too, mate. Just rip some fucking packs, bro. You know how much money I'm probably gonna spend when this fucking experience comes out? I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm already cooked. I just rolled so many tickets. Let's just say I have too many gems. I think I have like $8,000 in gems.
Yeah. Wait, what? I thought you said 8,000 gems. I was like, yeah, I'm around the same. You said $8,000 in gems.
$500,000 gems.
You're actually retarded, bro. You're actually retarded. But at the same time, we're streaming. You're the one that's going to be opening packs, and I'll just commentate on it. So thanks for producing and providing content in that manner. We'll have a fun time. We'll have a fun time. I can't believe I asked Chihos how he felt about Power Token being more valuable than Ron.
I think that was a great question when you asked it. I was like, because it's first of all, that's what we do on this show, and it's also like I wouldn't say the elephant in the room, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. And it's not good or bad. It's just interesting to get his thoughts on it, right? Because on the one hand, it may be shocking, but on the other hand, that's what you want as a network. Your dream as a network. Yes, you want the at the very least the Ronin network market cap at the moment is not ideal, right? But he addressed that a little bit. But it's like you want a product that's more valuable than the chain, right? To get that that's a good way to get things moving, to get the eyeballs on Ronin. You even saw it, I think, on the day that the Power Token got launched. I think Ron went up 15 or 20%.
All right, let's look at some fucking metrics though of Ronin, because we haven't looked at these for a while, right? Fees and TVL. Treasury, like the fees don't really fucking matter, let's be honest. What is the TVL? Katana Dex TVL. Holy shit, we are minuscule at the moment. TVL for today, or this is actually this is today, the 12th. Let's go yesterday, I guess. TVL, oh my, you're lying. Wait, is this right, bro? 14 million? There's no fucking way. 14 M's, bro? Wait, am I dreaming? Stark, please correct me.
Well, you have a real knack when you're showing things on the screen to either have it very zoomed out, and here there's even the chat over it.
Okay, chat, fuck you guys for a second.
And can you zoom in a little bit? Because
I can't zoom in. Oh, fuck, I can.
Now I'm just looking at random fucking numbers.
Okay, well, relax a second. Okay, we'll get there. We'll be there. We'll do it. Wait, volume 18 million? You can see that, right? You got eyes.
Yes. For the 1st of December.
And then TVL down here. 14.6 million on the 12th of December 2025.
No, 7th of December. We're not the 12th yet.
Oh, yeah, I can't read dates. I'm retarded. 7th. About a week ago, Bobby Schmurder. 14.6 mil, bro. Is that really what we're about, bro?
I wonder if it's linked. Shit. I wonder if it's linked to the the swap issues, because I've stopped using Katana since last month. I've just been using Kyber swap, lower fees and less failed transactions. So
there's fucking no way. There's no way. There's no way we're down that much, bro. From all-time highs in 2024 when we were like feeling ourselves, bro. 252 million to 14 million, bro. What even is that? It's like we're less than 10%. We're like fucking seven something percent of what we used to be, lads.
Well,
but are we 7% as a network?
It's
of what we used to
representative
be?
of the dip in the RON price. To be fair, if you
Yeah,
price it in
yeah,
RON,
I
it's
mean-
probably the same, but which is not.
Yeah, which is not, it's not a good point, but it is a point. It is a point. It is a point. I think it was cool though that Gios, spoke about one of the questions was actually about inflation, and he actually brought it up before the question was asked. So the fact that they, that is a key focus point for them, and in those conversations that they're having, and definitely something that they are looking at addressing and having, resolutions for, is positive signs. And then, his mention about the supply, and the identification of like how power is performing well right now because supply is under control. These are actually important.
Say the least, right? Because there's
Yeah, you
we
can
talked
fucking not get it anywhere, bro.
I
Yeah.
think less than 3% of it is in the hand of
Yeah. Whereas we are at the point where the less than a third is even left to be pushed into circulating supply. I was going to bring it up, but because Theban is not here, and also I don't think I have the intellect to hold that conversation about how his thesis on like, fuck it, bro, just release it, just
let it rip.
No, just let it rip, bro. But who knows, man? I hope you guys are having a fucking great Tuesday afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is. But I think we had a good show today. Shout out to Gios for coming through, bro. It's not easy. These are not easy times to come and be vocal and be public facing. So credit to him for that. And it was always a good time to chat with him and get his takes as well on the game experiences that we have right now: Fableborn, Cambria, Fishing Frenzy, Grand Arena, so on and so forth, bro. And interestingly enough, he managed to not leak something about Pixels, but also leak something about Pixels at the same time. That something is cooking over there. Shout out to Heidi and Luke. And yeah, man, let's just see what the rest of the year brings us.
Yep.
I think
I'm looking forward to that.
Tomorrow, the rate cuts.
No, about the
oh my good lord, bro. Talking about rate cuts, we missed Market Open today because we've been here doing the greatest show on planet Earth. Holy fuck me sideways.
I got stopped out on a long no.
On a long no, dear. This has literally just been happening over the last hour. We have just
been watching it.
You didn't say a single fucking. You could have sent me a DM, a personal message, something, brother. We are back in that range. Jesus. Okay, this is not a live trading show. We have finished the show. Thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate you every single time. Shout out to our sponsor, Kitty World. They are the best builders here in Ronin. I also haven't had a conversation with them about our sponsorship for a long time, but I love them very dearly, and will continue to say we are sponsored by them. Either way, bro, it has been a tough year for us here in Ronin. I think 2026 can only show better signs for us. What's dead cannot die. Shout out to Ronkies in the chat here. And yeah, man, just fucking stay down, bro. Stay down. Honestly, I think you like to be in right now, to have the things right now in your hand, and to think, you know what? After all that bullshit and pain I have endured over this year, I'm just gonna let go of it. Is the dumbest shit you could do. It just is, right? I get it if you're completely over allocated and you just have no way to fucking survive the next fucking week or tomorrow even without getting rid of it, then fair enough, no financial advice is given out here, but fair enough. The other side of the coin is if it's an investment and you afforded that investment, then what the fuck are we talking about, bro? Stay down until you come up, brothers. I think we have some warming signs on the horizon. Let's see what the Ronin addressing looks like, hopefully later this week or maybe next week. But until then, I will be playing Fableborn relentlessly. I'm trying to bring Mark of the Zeal back up to the top of that leaderboard position. And yeah, mate, thanks very much for tuning in. We love you. Thank you, Stark. I love you.
Love you too.
Goodbye, my friends. It's been goodbye. It's been fun. Run it up, whatever it is. I love you. Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah. Too much CCTV now, I don't really want to get violent. But you could get a punch from Ireland, or you could get kicked from Thailand. Slap from Nigeria, make you start hearing sirens. Woo, woo, woo. Shell, but Tim on so.
We had the dysfunction that function. Gave him a slap from Southwest London. Caused a conundrum, now we can't function. Try to cause a disruption. I can't lie like them man do. I hear it, but I don't trust them. It's make-believe corruption. Cause they're not like that when I butt them.
It's easy to see that you don't get paid. You man are stressed, it shows. All of that talk about taking risks, he saw the skate and he froze. Stepped out in his best, his clothes, then you're in a hospital with your chest exposed. Swing, dick, t-shirt rip, mouth too big, should've kept it closed.
I rate that he's back in his bedroom. Now I'm gonna see what they're both on. I don't wanna hear FK allow me. I don't wanna hear FK hold on left. Weave right. Now it looks like you got fucked up Botox. Are you sure I'm who you wanna step to? Are you sure I'm who you wanna roll on? They see me in the cup with Skep. Now they think that I'm BBK. Fully on grease these days. Them man try shit these days. That's why bro spin like the CDJs. Plug try give me a CCJ, TBH or CBA. I still live like GTA.
Too much CCTV now, I don't really want to get violent. But you could get a punch from Ireland, and you could get a kick from Thailand. Slap from Nigeria, make you start hearing sirens. Woo, woo, woo. Shell, but Tim on so.
We had the dysfunction that function. Gave him a slap from Southwest London. Caused a conundrum, now we can't function. Try to cause a disruption. I can't lie like them man do. I hear it, but I don't trust them. It's make-believe corruption. Cause they're not like that when I butt them.
And we don't care about your gang. All of your mums, I take to suck them. Bro, pop that can't make everyone scatter. If you feel brave, don't run then. Your boy ran left you, that's a bad friend. I'm still with the same guys from back then. You know Lash, that's gang them. And Dex, one them. You wanna be the loudest guy in the room, I came with the quietest dude. And if you heard that he's live, it's true. You got a Glock 21 -2, so you got riders, we got riders too. And we don't like to lose any funny business that my guys on you. Now your white tee looking like rice and stew.
My young G's on goal, you can't help it. Tryna turn white tees red velvet. Cause he greedy and he's selfish. Hopped out and left my Michael Phelps in. I gave him a jailhouse rock like Elvis. Rocked him and his brethren weren't helping. Mind out if I reach for my pelvis.
Shoot, let's see boys, it was a good day, man. It was a good day, boys. I think we go bullish.
Before I start this shit, I'ma call this one flow. You got something to say, ain't got nothing to show. Ain't gotta say she bad, you already know. Bad. Best fix your face before I take your home. No joke. VVS, all on my neck, it got you man, they're stressed. I'm tryna be top 2, -1, don't know for the rest. I'm grabbing the back, it's making sense. Gotta show love to the breast. You owe me dough, best pay me back before I add interest. I'm controlling it all the way and she's submitting. If me and you parted ways, goodbye, good riddance. I like when she talks back, but she gonna listen. Yes. Let's listen, yo. Before I start this shit, I'ma call this one flow. You got something to say, ain't got nothing to show. Ain't gotta say she bad, you already know. Bad. Best fix your face before I take your hoe. No joke. GLA or the GLE, 63, not 53. ABC man, give it a D. Now she all on me. How do you man sleep at night? I wonder no Steve. Always watching me, I beg let me breathe. Slide in a function, make that lit, same way this sweet one. Tryna slide in, same way, both sliding. Cash that job, no pronoun thing, but G, I'm him. Yo, man said I got one flow. Is it cause I took your hoe? Is it cause I took your bitch? She got bread, so we gonna trick. Before I start this shit, I'ma call this one flow. You got something to say, ain't got nothing to show. Ain't gotta say she bad, you already know. Bad. Best fix your face before I take your hoe. No joke. Fuck that girl you're chasing, that's a waste of time. Yo, fuck that tide of waiting, just do my side. Too much ties, so much ties, I can get you slimed. But let's see, I got head to toe, but I'm not a fashion guy. So much chrome on me, the top came oversized. So much chrome on me, the top came oversized. Aye, for me, I don't know, I had to let them go. Try hide that hate from me, but that envy still gonna show. I can vouch for in the tea, you have fiends lined up on the road. Found me a sweet one, before that, it was bros over hoes. Didn't sleep till I got man down and turned man's day right upside down. I thought he'd sing like James, but fed for that I was serving brown. I don't want no love, a matter of time until they give me the crown. And by then, I'll be gone, I'll be out of town. Fuck that girl you're chasing, that's a waste of time. Yo, fuck that tired of waiting, just do my side. Too much ties, so much ties, I can get you slimed. But let's see, I got head to toe, but I'm not a fashion guy. So much chrome on me, the top came oversized. So much chrome on me, the top came oversized. This here gonna hurt feelings, A&E way more than a beating. Heart gone cold like where's the heating? Bando settings a business meeting. Hungry still best know I've been eating. They gotta pay me just for the greeting. Got that from early, like winter. These days keep it in the circle, cause man just way too inner. She asked me about the sign I throw up, I told her, babe, we winners. Fuck that girl you're chasing, that's a waste of time. Yo, fuck that tired of waiting, just do my side. Too much ties, so much ties, I can get you slimed. But let's see, I got head to toe, but I'm not a fashion guy.
Not a chance that I can't hear any of you fuckers right now, and you actually are.
Oh, shut up! Fuck!